All right, Josh, my bow is you guys, the most important thing when it comes to hunting, you know, fitness, shooting your bow, but when it comes down to it, it's right here. This is what is gonna go through the animal. This is what is going to put something on the ground and potentially bring meat home. Today, we're talking Vector. This is the ZMR. This is a 300 spine. I'm gonna show you guys a couple different setups that I'm running, that I've hunted with, why I'm changing. We're gonna be throwing some ElkShape vanes on. It's all about tinkering, testing, and finding the best system for you. Okay, so we have 125 out front. This is an aluminum insert. This is a 300 spine ZMR. I have ZMR, the wrap, and I have this with an offset 4 fletch. The total arrow weight, 482. So that is a little on the heavy side for me. I want to see anywhere from 460, 470-ish. So these arrows that I'm gonna be building are gonna be hopefully going through a bear soon. These are the AAE Hybrid 26. So you guys can order these now with the ElkShape logos on them directly from our website. For the day, my plan is stripping all this off, pulling those off the back. There's 4 vanes. I'm gonna go to 3 with the Hybrid HP ElkShape logo. This profile I really like. I have shot something similar to that on a 4 mil and I loved it. There's nothing wrong with these. They shot really great. The reason that I want to do this is just strictly for tinkering. I want to see if this will tighten my groups up. I want to see if it's quieter. I want to see if there's any parachuting. We're testing. This is the reason we're doing these things, is to show you guys this footage for us to make the best shots we can. And it's just fun. I love tinkering with arrows. I love doing stuff with bows. Let's see what we got. I don't need to primer these, do I?
No, do not primer those.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
In fact, make sure you say that you don't prime any hybrids from AE.
That's a plus. Okay, this little mark right there, they spine align that for us. You're gonna keep that. You're gonna make sure all that wrap is off. Arizona Easy Fletch Max Left. With running this small of a vane, that much of a helical on there, I actually like. Spine alignment mark, we're gonna line that up with the light blue color. I believe this is called Flow Yellow. We're gonna run 2 of those, 1 white, cock vane is gonna be white. One step you guys can skip is you don't need to use a primer pin for these. I actually really like that. Get you guys some good glue. I throw all 3 vanes in my jig. I do a drop at the top, drop at the bottom, 1 in the middle, and then run that down. Rinse, wash, repeat, bottom, middle, top. You guys wanna make sure these are all down to the bottom where they need to be, because when you close this up, they're gonna be on there. Slide that over the top, lock that in place, push this bottom up, let that sit there for a couple seconds. It is nice to have another jig. You can start working on the next one. By the time you get to this step, you close that one up, you can pull this one out. Push in, twist, slide this off the top, open your jig up, nice and straight. Everything's lined up good. There's no glue running out everywhere. I like that. Let's compare this total weight really fast. Okay, so this was my old setup. 4 vanes with a wrap, 125 out front. Total weight, 477.6. Here's the new arrow, 458.3. That's a big difference for me. All right, you guys, I'm taking my bow out of the bag for the first time since I crashed during elk season. Hit something up here and basically it went down, so. I'm gonna have to try to get out that way and get back up this. Looking it over, seeing what's bent, what's broken, what we need to do to fix it, making sure it is shootable, ready for the next hunt. First thing, so this is a bar got from MFJJ that lets me run both bars down low. This bolts into the riser on my bow. We're gonna look at that a little more. I haven't even honestly looked at the bow to figure out if there's threads snapped off, what has been pulled out. I honestly haven't taken it out since that day. If you guys are curious, this is a soft bag from SKB that goes inside of that hard case over there. Right now, I'm actually using both of these. So my 33 is in my hard case, my 29 is in here. Typically, I do put this inside that if we're traveling, if we're on a plane, if we're going somewhere. This goes in that hard case just for extra protection, but right now, everything's in here. Me and Dan both use this. This is an OMP vise. This is the wider base at the top, which works perfect for the Matthews. That dampener is in Idaho somewhere. This dampener is in Idaho somewhere. They're probably both in the same spot on that trail, so maybe I'll find them this next year. That is significantly bent. This piece is supposed to be in my riser. There is threads in there with, it looks like some red Loctite and a bushing. This actually went in like that. So what happened when I crashed is this snapped off. I assumed the threads on my stabilizer broke. That piece is not supposed to come out of your bow. That goes in just like that. I don't know if we can epoxy that back in, if we can glue that back in. There is more threads in there. It looks like this is actually longer and it goes all the way through that riser. So it looks like there's probably 1/4 of an inch of threads left in here. I might be able to salvage these threads and put in a bar in there. I'm not super stoked about that. I'd like to figure out how to put that back in there, but these threads are ripped out. So I think what happened is these threads, this stud is bent, if you guys can tell. So if I get these threads started, that'll work. I'm okay with that. Let's look at these cams. So the big thing with crashing that bad, having this come off, I went off the bike, landed on my back with this on my pack in the rocks and rolled. So the biggest thing is making sure my cams are straight, the timing is correct. Okay, so this bottom cam is damaged pretty good. All from here all the way around. See how this is pinched in? That's not good. So the issue is when you draw your bow back and this cycles through, that's gonna end up damaging your string. It took a beating. I don't see any damage on these limbs so far. Nothing's cracked. This cam looks okay. One thing you guys can tell, if you guys have Matthews, this cam, this string, and that hole, if you guys look through this hole at that string on the top, you look at that hole on the bottom and your string, from top and bottom, that should be lined up pretty close. That should be matching, which means you're pretty close to being timed. It's not as good as putting it in a draw board or drawing it back and have somebody check at full extension, but that is just kind of a reference to get you guys close. So if you have one that's way this way and one that's way that way, you know something's off. You guys, this was the bracket that was up here. I had both of my bars coming off of that. What I'm gonna do is put this here and run my back bar off of that. This is gonna be directly mounted to my riser now. Okay, draw board. Looks like the timing's definitely a little out. Okay guys, so we've determined this bottom cam does need to be replaced. I'm gonna replace that just due to how this is smashed and I don't want this to wear on my string. I will be putting new strings on this bow as well, so I definitely don't want my new strings getting messed up. I don't want this bow blowing up. After putting it in the draw board, we were able to see that the timing was out, so we're not gonna mess with any of that now because this is going to change. So in the future, new cam, we'll get the timing fixed, and then we're gonna go to the next step. But right now, we are going to shoot. This was the arrow that I was hunting with. This is the ZMR. This is a 300 spine with a wrap with 4 vanes on the back. What I'm going to be testing is the same exact shaft, same exact front end, but the back is different. So no more wrap, went from a 4 vane to a 3 vane. These are the new AAE hybrid ElkShape. This profile is going to be really, really nice for stabilizing these fixed broadheads. So the taller this is, the more stabilization you're gonna have with a fixed broadhead. The longer, when this arrow kicks to the side, if this is a longer vane, that's gonna help straighten you back out. So this is kind of a hybrid mix of a bunch of different vanes that they have put together. I'm really excited just to see how these things fly, and I'm excited to see the difference in FOC. So this should have better FOC, this is lighter, and it should be going faster. All right, 270. That's 4 vanes with a wrap. Man, that's not good. Aren't you like 280? Some bull. I got longer arms than you. Okay, so a 3 vane, no wrap. We'll give you guys the stats, but I think this is almost 40 grains lighter. 286. All right, Josh, my bow is Tell me I'm wrong, please.
Well, didn't you wreck this on your bike? That is absolutely As you draw that back, it'll cut your serving because it's folded inward. That needs to be replaced.
Jake, are you getting new strings on this?
Yes.
What are you running with?
Gas.
Oh, you did grab them. My bad.
Bright orange.
High octane.
What do you think of that, Josh?
That's very flashy.
Is
I
it
think that's appropriate for you.
I don't know what he's
You look
talking
like
about.
a flashy kind of guy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That the string attaches to has to be on the left side, right? On a right-handed bow.
So maybe you should order the right cam when you replace it.
Yeah, for sure. You
sell
want a
cams?
right hand? I do.
How
They're
much
not.
is a cam?
I think they're like $200 a set,
Oh!
or $250 a set. I'm not positive. I'd have to look it up.
Do you have to buy
Guessing.
a set?
No, you can buy one. And it was half or whatever it is. I think it's 100 or 150 a cam.
Sweet, Jake. I love spending your
I
money.
put it on your tab.
You probably did.
That's your running tab down there.
That's new to me.
Yeah.
We just started it.
Isn't that handy? So the funny part is I can actually make you an electronic account.
I don't want to count.
I know.
I like that.
My wife's
Yeah,
like,
and then every time you put it in,
Last
just send
week-
it to an email that Mrs. ElkShape does not see.
she's like, what's this $100 of Spoken Valley Archery? I was like, put it under advertising and promotion.
Boom.
Okay, so I just asked Josh, keeping this old string for measurements for your D-loop, measurements for that peep would be kind of nice, but I'm gonna be putting this peep in my new strings.
I would just buy another peep, you cheap. That's a fully functioning set of emergency strings that you already have that are already stretched out and already tuned. Why would you cut it up?
That's a solid counter.
I hate it when Josh is right.
Ah, there you go.
Grab a new yoke out of here.
Were these 75 pounders?
Yeah.
Wow. When did you start working out?
When? Did that been working out?
And the sauna is not a workout. Would you concur?
I would concur. Well, it's getting your heart rate up.
Follow Jake.
Not sure
I'll
it's
put a
getting your
post
pump
his
on.
Instagram right here for awesome nipple shots. in the
Sauna and then cold therapy back and forth is good for your immune system. Joe Rogan does it and Cam Hands does it, so they're not wrong.
Conspiracy.
Take those strings off, paper clip them up.
Where's my yoke here? That's one thing I don't have in here is a compressor. Whoops, sorry, Jesus, about to smack that out of your hand. Haven't equipment.
Yeah.
They're not expensive. I think I bought that. For
Don't
like
over
20
tighten that bolt, right?
bucks. Nope, just make it snug. Don't over tight it. It's got your Loctite on it. You should be able to go with that now.
Better rapper, Biggie or Tupac? Josh?
Tupac.
Jake?
Tupac.
Tupac. Eminem. Fitty. Who else? Like,
It's white. You can't say 50. You gotta say 50.
sorry, 50? Whatever. But I mean, out of Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
That's better.
I feel a little more, Papa.
What do you need?